Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 6-0 Football Academy and 6-0 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling.
What's good, everybody? Happy Wednesday out there. This is 0 to 60. I'm your host, Matt McChesney. Bailey's on the ones and the twos. We have a lot to talk about here today all over the world of sports. Let's get rolling, Bailey. And, happy Wednesday, bro.
Happy Wednesday. It's going to be a great show here. And this show is brought to you by Melon, MELIN.com, bringing you the best, most durable hats built to last 5 times longer than any other hat. They're built for the water, and they don't lose the shape if you take them in the water. They offer small, classic, or XL to fit every size head. So if you're looking for the world's most durable hat, look no further. Go to MELIN.com. That's MELIN.com, melon.com, and put it to the test yourself today. This show is also brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. BetOnline is you cover with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here and we roll. Matt, we're in the building here on this fine, beautiful Wednesday. How you doing?
Good, bro. Yeah, it's a little cold. Yeah, I'm tired of the cold. I'm over it. So I need 80 degrees. But
yeah, we're almost there.
That is what it is. God, I can't wait, dude. Fuck.
Yeah,
I swear to God, one more cold front or just a stiff wind at this point is going to piss me off. So,
definitely. Well, let's get into it, Matt. Before we talk Colorado Buffaloes news, NFL news, Matt, your Nuggets have a big game tonight here. Game 2 of the series here against the Thunder here. How are you feeling about the game? What do the Nuggets got to do to get a Game 2 victory and go up 2-0 against the Thunder?
Look, dog. The NBA playoffs have been pretty phenomenal up to this point. You know, that was the first time that a road team has won in the semifinal round. All 4 games were won by the road team. The Pacers are up 2-0. Yep. I wish that they could play like this all the time because the product would be so good if they would just play like this. You know, play 82, play hard. That game the other night between the Nuggets and the Thunder was one of the best basketball games I've watched in a long time. It was fucking up and down the floor, tons of points, great defense, hustle, good passing, you know, contentious guys getting on each other. And Aaron Gordon stepping up, bro. And he's the glue guy for the Nuggets. He's the guy that, you know, makes them go. When he's on, they are really hard to beat. So I don't know. If I'm watching that game on Monday night, I don't know how you can give the MVP to Shane Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I
know. Joker went for 40 and 22, and they won.
Stupid.
Like, I'm sorry. I know SGA. SGA is special. There's no one saying he's not a great scorer and he's not a good player. He's fucking special. Mm-hmm. But he's not. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? Yeah. You average a triple-double. The only other guys that have done that have all won the MVP. Russell Westbrook was the last one to do it. He won the MVP. Mm-hmm. It seems like they're just going to give it to SGA this year because they're tired of giving it to Nikola. But that doesn't mean he's not the best. It's almost like the Josh Allen thing. Like, was Josh Allen really the MVP?
You and I are going to disagree on that one, but yeah, I see your point.
Absolutely. Yeah, but you could you could say that just go back and look at the numbers and like do like the frame by frame where it's just like the outline of the players, and you go this guy or this guy won the MVP, and I guarantee you would pick Lamar Jackson's numbers.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
You probably pick Nicola's numbers, but SGA is probably going to win the MVP. So
that's true.
Look, do I think they can go up 2-0? It's tough. I mean, Oklahoma City is going to come out on fire tonight to play, but They lost last year in the semifinal round. I don't think they're unbeatable by any means. I mean, they're good, but I don't know. Maybe they're just regular season good, bro. And that's, I think the Nuggets are built for this shit. They've this pretty much the same starting five already won a title. And Russell Westbrook, for as crazy as Russell Westbrook is, okay, and he is a fucking firecracker. I don't know if it's going to go off in your hand or blow up in the sky and be the most amazing thing you've ever seen. So, but he's going full speed, and he's got a ton of attitude. And honestly, he's the kind of guy that they brought in for these series. He used to be a Clipper, and he loved beating them. He used to be part of the Thunder organization and was supposed to be one of the pillars of it. Can you believe that they had Harden, Westbrook, and Durant in their prime and they couldn't fucking win?
How far they've come in 10 years. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, bro. So I think that the Nuggets have put themselves in a position here looking at the final four teams in the West. Why can't the Nuggets go to the finals this year and fucking win it all?
Yeah.
Why exactly can't they do that? Because you're gonna have a hard time convincing me, especially all I said when they started the series was they got to get one on the road. You give me one on the road, and they get one of the first two games at Oklahoma City, they're winning the series.
Mm-hmm.
They got it. And I think they're going to play their balls off tonight. Nicola's way more adamant. You can see him on TV coaching the shit out of his guys.
Yeah.
Maybe firing Coach Malone was the right move, bro. I think about it like this. If they win say they go to the finals and they find a way to win this, does it just tell you that coaching in the NBA is like the most overrated thing in the history of overrated things?
Yeah, that was my question to you, Matt. As a Nuggets fan, seeing the firing of Mike Malone, seeing Jokic on the sideline, coaching up his team and playing player coach here, and I think Jokic, what he's doing is unbelievable. Matt, as a Nuggets fan, how does that make you feel?
Shit, bro, we don't fuck a coach. We've got Jokic. You know what I'm saying? But then again, Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan until he got Phil Jackson. Like, he was great, and he was the best player, but he couldn't win shit.
Right.
And then he got Phil Jackson, and all of a sudden they could do nothing but win. So I don't know. I'm torn on this. Like, chat, what do you think? You know, Greg Popovich, do the Spurs win 5 titles without Pop? I don't know.
Real tough.
I think they probably win 2 or 3, though, right? They've got fucking the big fundamental and Manu and Tony Parker and shit. Like, they got dudes. So, look, you got to have dudes in order to win games. Everybody knows that. You could have the best coach in the world and no players, and you're going to suck. So, the Nuggets are good because of the guys they got on the floor, bro. And other than Michael Porter Jr.'s broken ass, just sit. You know, we don't need you to play anymore, okay? Just sit down and stop trying to play. Westbrook they're better on the court when Westbrook's on the court anyway. So I don't think MPJ is going to get a lot of run. He's hurt. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and move him in the offseason so he can go be a number 2 somewhere instead of the number 4 guy in Denver that's making a max contract. Fuck. But yeah, bro, I think that like you're going to have a hard time now that all the LA dick riders are out of the playoffs and the Lakers and the Clippers are both out. You know, I think the Nuggets have as good a chance as anybody to go to the finals. And you know, you go to the finals, bro, Cleveland looks like they're fucked. And Boston's down 1-0. So I don't want to hear that the Nuggets can't go get themselves a fucking another ring this year. And we got another parade to go to. So, yeah, I could see actually the Nuggets repeating kind of what the Spurs did for so long. The Spurs never went back to back; they would go every other year. So, you know, the Nuggets seem like that kind of inevitable team. The Spurs were like the other teams may be more talented and they may be more high flying, but the fundamental team that can beat you inside out, that's going to be hard to beat in 7 games, bro. And they're just fucking championship DNA, bro. That was impressive on Monday night.
Definitely, Matt. And I know how much fun and possible frustration you may have with betting the NBA. Looking tonight at your Nuggets, they were 11-point, now 10-point underdogs to the Thunder here, Matt. Are you looking at that at all? Are you saying 10-point underdogs? Bullshit. What do you? Is that too many points? Because ideally, the Thunder got to win by 20, or else you're going to be sweating in that fourth quarter with your bet, so to speak.
I hate betting the NBA.
Can't wait till football season.
I hate it, bro. It's terrible. But look, I would say this. I would anticipate this evening, if I had to guess, that Oklahoma City will even at 1-1 coming back to Denver. Now, I thought that Cleveland would fucking go up and be 1-1 too, and the Pacers won both games. So this is what I want to see from the Nuggets. Just go play. No more like last year in the playoffs, and you even saw it once or twice when they were in their championship run, where they would just lay an egg in a playoff game. Like last year at Game 6 in Minnesota, they lost by 45, bro. And then they blew a 20-point lead in Game 7 the next game. So I just want to see them go play. Go play a full 4 quarters as hard as you can and see where you're at with 5 minutes left in the game. If you're down by 15 fucking points with 5 minutes left in the game, well, I've seen you come back from that. So why, like, it's the Clippers the other night, bro. They pulled their entire team with the 4th quarter left. And then the reserves went on like a 26-8 run.
Yeah.
Like, we're pulling our guys in Game 7. What do they need to get ready to go hang out in Cancun? What the fuck are we doing? So, you know, like that's, if I'm Steve Ballmer from the Clippers, I'm firing Tyronn Lue just off of that. That's everyone's fired. James Harden, you're gone. So, like, this is the playoffs. Let's go fucking sell out and see if you can go up 2-0. You go up 2-0, you might sweep OKC, homie. So yeah, this is a big one. And you know, if you can get 2 on the road, that it's almost impossible to fuck that up in the NBA if you get 2 out of the 7 on the road. Yeah,
if they can go up 2-0 on the road, they're going to be set for the series here, Matt. And I can't wait to come on here Friday and react to however the Nuggets play here late tonight against the OKC Thunder here. Matt, let's move forward and get into some college football and NFL news here. This is going to be an interesting story and a play, kind of a play on what we talked about on Friday with Warren Moon and Shedeur Sanders here. Tom Brady gives Shedeur Sanders advice after Shedeur fell to the 5th round and was drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round. And Tom gave him some advice on how to respond to that. Take a listen.
In the room, Shedeur Sanders. What happened, Tom? Why did he go so late in the draft?
I mean, it's a good question. I wasn't a part of any evaluation process or to
Nobody else says otherwise.
No. Well, everyone's got that's the problem with media is everyone can just say whatever the fuck they want. I actually texted Shedeur because I know him very well. And I said, dude, like whatever happens, wherever you go, like that's your first day. Day 2 matters more than the draft. I was 199.
Yeah.
So who could speak on it better than me? Like what that really means. Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances. Go take advantage of it.
Yeah, the last part, Tom said definitely.
Figures Tom would make it about himself.
Definitely.
Why would he do that? Why make it about yourself immediately?
What do you mean by that?
He made it. He didn't answer the question. He immediately made it about himself. He started talking about his journey rather than what Shedeur needs to do.
No, but I think
why they didn't ask why you didn't pick him being a minority owner of the Raiders. They asked why he fell.
Yeah.
So, like, give your opinion on why he fell, Tom. That makes him looks like he intentionally told the Raiders to pass on him. It's like, well, I didn't do anything. Like that makes a red flag go up for me. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely. But as an NFL owner, I don't know how much he's going to really, say. But yeah.
Well, I'm sure that Brady calls the Raiders during the draft or before the draft, having a so-called relationship with Shedeur because they were supposed to be all tight and shit. And says we should absolutely draft this guy, and Tom Brady says it. Don't you think that's going to carry some weight?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think the Raiders really were going to go draft a quarterback that high anyway. I don't think we expected Shedeur to fall the 5th round.
Anybody could have gotten him on the 3rd or 4th, like that.
Could have, yeah.
I mean, the Raiders easily could have picked him in the 4th round. He would still be backing up Geno and learning. And in fact, that's an even better situation than the one he's in Cleveland because he actually gets to learn instead of just potentially getting thrown to the wolves in Cleveland, although I think he's probably the best guy in the room for the job. So, shit, man. I don't really know what the question is there for Tom. He's trying to I agree that the second day is more important than the first day, and I think Shedeur is going to be just fine in Cleveland. Hopefully, I mean, the Browns franchise is what I'm worried about, not necessarily Shedeur Sanders.
No, definitely. And going back to your earlier point about the Raiders and drafting Shedeur Sanders, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think they were going to draft a quarterback that high. They actually drafted a North Dakota State quarterback, Cam Miller, who we got to see against Colorado in week 1 of the season here. Either way, it's so ironic and fitting here. Shedeur is wearing number 12, as Tom Brady did, and this has caused quite a stir in Colorado, Buffalo's media and nation here, so to speak. Shedeur Sanders is not going to be able to wear number 2, as number 2 is being worn by DeAndre Carter, Browns wide receiver here. Matt, I don't really give a shit what number Shedeur Sanders wears. It's really up to him to make the number, especially the situation he's in. I really like Tom Brady's advice at the end of that. Just like Warren Moon we talked about last week. It's how you respond to it, Matt. How does Shedeur respond to this adversity, so to speak? I don't know if it's adversity, but how does Shedeur respond to being drafted in the 5th round? How does he respond to being in a competition with Dylan Gabriel on top of Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett as well on the Browns team? Matt, what are your thoughts on all that? And then Shedeur wearing Brady's number here.
Yeah, man, number 12, cool. Again, I'm in the same boat as you. Who gives a shit what number he wears? That has absolutely no bearing on anything.
Yep.
A number's a personal thing. Obviously, my number's important to me. No one cares what an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman wears, but it's important to the individual.
Yeah.
So as long as he wants to wear 12, then rock 12. Like, people are upset about this.
I would say Colorado Buffalo's nation is definitely upset about this, that Shedeur Sanders is not going to be wearing 2. I've seen a lot of comments saying, oh, horrible move, Cleveland, dumb marketing move. He's not going to sell jersey, not going to get a number 2 jersey, blah, blah, blah. Jersey's going to sell either way, and I think it's just so ironic.
What's wrong with number 12?
It's not 2, Matt. That's why they're upset.
Oh, okay. Well, does a vet? You said a veteran has number 2.
Yeah, another.
Well, hold on. Shedeur's got enough bread to go buy the number.
That's what I talked about with Coach Leroy French the other day here.
Yeah, let's not sit here and get mad at DeAndre Carter. How long has DeAndre Carter been in the league? 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. I don't care. You're a rookie. You don't get choice of numbers. That's not the way this works. Again. This is the National Football League. It's not, you're not in control of anything at this point. You're a 5th round draft pick. But I will say this, if Shedeur really had a problem with it, he could just go buy the number, which apparently he doesn't have a problem with. So why does everyone have a problem with it if Shedeur doesn't have a problem with it?
Well, just looking at the comment here saying his number does have bearing for marketing purposes, and the vet that picked the number even more number 2. That doesn't matter. DeAndre Carter's played in the NFL for 10 years at least. Like he's played and been there and done that. And I don't understand that comment at all. He's going to sell jerseys either way. Shedeur
will just find a way to make money off of 12.
My point exactly. You're going to make money either way. Like
our Shedeur fans. If his number was 24, they would buy it. Like, he could wear like 52, and people would buy that shit. So who cares?
Exactly, 100%, Matt, 100%. And going back, looking at the Cleveland Browns quarterback room here, I wanted to show another clip of Warren Moon talking with Kay Adams here about the Browns quarterback room and Shedeur's chances in that Browns quarterback room here. Take a listen, Matt.
Who's the starter week 1 for the Browns?
Well, that's what I say. You use this as fuel, and this is good fuel for you to just go in there and show what people don't think you can do. I don't know who the first day starter is going to be. A lot of it's going to have to do with how all these guys play in the preseason, because that's what coaches look at. How do you play when the lights are on? So there's only 3 preseason games now, so you don't have as much of an opportunity to get out there and show what you can do, but you got to make the most. If you only get 5 plays, you make those 5 plays really 5 good plays.
Definitely. And I think going into the season for the Browns, Matt, you and I have talked about this. I think it's Joe Flacco's job to lose, considering his history there, his success. He has a Super Bowl championship, and I think he's the man for the job. I think he'll definitely be able to mentor Shedeur. And it's going to be interesting with Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel in the room, how that all plays out. Matt, what are your thoughts on Warren Moon's comments there?
He's right. I mean, I would definitely just let Flacco take the early shells. You know what I'm saying? I guess if you're Cleveland, how many quarterbacks do you actually keep on the active? And can you even keep one of the rookies on the practice squad? Because I'd imagine you put Gabriel or Shador on the practice squad, and they show in if Shador plays well in any of the 3 preseason games, and he goes to the practice squad, he's gone. Yeah. I'd imagine he'd be gone, and so would Gabriel. So
walked and a media circus. It's
oh my God, it was fucking crazy. Now, all that said, I see Kenny Pickett being the odd man out and then keeping 3 quarterbacks because you can't not dress one of the rookies. Mm-hmm. And if Flacco is not very good and he's super old and he's just washed this year, which could happen, the guy's fucking 40-something years old, then it becomes open competition every week. And you got 2 rookies battling it out, and, it doesn't really matter where you were drafted at that point. It's all about what you do on a day-to-day basis, and the best guy's going to play in their opinion. So a lot of this is going to be whichever rookie quarterback has the ability to acclimate to the pro-style system that they run in Cleveland is going to be the one that plays. It may not be the most talented player. It's going to be the smartest guy. So, Dylan Gabriel and Shador both had multiple systems, multiple coaches. It's one of the reasons why I wish Patty Boy would have just pushed harder for more professional concepts, just because that's what translates, and you always are moving forward in this game because the future is the next rep. So I'm eager to see what happens here with both the guys. I think Dylan Gabriel's a good player, but I think Shador's a special player. So that's all going to work itself out. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we'll see.
100%, man. I agree with you there. 100%. I have a question, Matt. Who was this? Who did it? Which prime sexual was it, Matt? A Colorado football fan is suing the NFL for over $100 million for emotional distress that he went through while watching Shador Sanders fall in the 5th round of the draft. Matt, who is this? Which prime sexual in this chat is it? Is it Dalvin? Which one on Twitter is it? I gotta know, because this shit is unbelievable.
Is this real? This was actually filed. This is a real filed lawsuit.
Yes, this is news. Yes.
And so, look, I'm just going to reiterate this, but this just makes us look like a bunch of pussies. And this is what all you emotional distress prime sexual fans. This could be any one of you. In fact, I think we should go on a crusade to figure out which one it is.
I'm determined, man. I asked Coach Fred this yesterday. I was like, who is it? Which one? Who was it? Because I read this and I'm like, are we serious?
It makes us look so weak, bro. And I know it's a joke and a parody and shit, but still, it's just another opportunity to laugh at Colorado. Ha 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 ha. Like you're emotionally distressed because somebody didn't get drafted. I mean, come on, dog. It's a TV show. Relax.
Yeah. Jesus.
I'll tell you, the fucking TV show, the ratings went through the roof. So they were pumped that he didn't get drafted where he did, because that motherfucking TV show went, that shit blew up. It was like the most watched draft in history.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. 100%. Let's move forward here, Matt. I don't know how much you're into fashion or fashion shows. I know you have had a history of talking about fashion shows on Coach JB's show in the past here. But the Met Gala happened recently, and I don't know if you saw Andre 3000 here with quite the outfit here with the piano on his back. Matt, if you were ever to go to the Met Gala, is this something you would wear? What's the deal with this crazy outfit and shit?
I don't know. Andre's weird. No, I wouldn't wear this stupid bullshit. What is he doing? I mean, yeah, we know. Just wear your beret and be cool. That's dumb as fuck. So, I mean, look, I don't understand all the fucking weirdos that go to this kind of shit. All these people who think they're way more important than they really are. And that's cool. That's cool, I guess, if you want to. I'm going to dress up as a fucking chandelier tomorrow. and start teaching pass sets and fucking 40 starts dressed up as a candle. What the fuck are we doing?
I don't know. God damn it. I don't think Shador and Shiloh went to the Met Gala, was it? It was another fashion show they did.
Like, they went to some French shit.
Yeah, it was
they
like
went to
January. So I don't know if they didn't dress like this. I think Joe Burrow, and several other pro athletes have been there. This is unbelievable, Matt. Interesting outfit here. And if you were ever to go to the Met Gala, I hope you wear something like Andre.
I hope I jump out of the fucking window if I ever go to the Met Gala. But whatever. I'm not going to that shit.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. Matt, let's go back into the NFL here before we take a quick break. Huge trade across the NFL here. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers traded George Pickkins to the Cowboys in return for a third and a fifth here. They sent Pickkins in a sixth, 2027 sixth to the Cowboys. Matt, what are your thoughts on Cowboys getting a new pickup, new wideout to go with CeeDee Lamb, Kayvonte Turpin, and others in the Dallas Cowboys wideout room?
Apparently Pittsburgh didn't want two huge receivers.
Yeah, that was my thought. I don't know, but it might have been too much of a headache.
I guess, look, DK wears 14. He's a bigger, better, faster version of Pickens. Okay, so you're replacing DK Metcalf. That's acceptable. This is he's probably going to be a really, really good number 2 in Dallas.
Yeah, you can get
I would guess that his big ass is going to have a bunch of fucking touchdowns in the red zone, and be kind of like that Plaxico Burress type. You know what I'm saying? I think this is probably a good move for Dallas. They sneakingly have kind of just maneuvered their way into having a pretty good looking team. Maybe you never know. But yeah, this is a good move. This is a good move by Dallas. At least they're doing something.
Yes.
I mean, last year they just held their dick and nothing happened. So I'd imagine that's played out. Jerry Jones isn't getting any younger, so good move. Let's see if it works. But a lot of this is on Pickens too. He's kind of a diva bitch. So
yeah,
he's always complaining about something and kind of a little bit of a bitch. But that's okay. He's going to Dallas where bitches roam.
See, I think Pittsburgh, we saw a little bit of noise around George Pickens and the Steelers being interested in shipping him around the draft. I mean, I don't know if they're bringing in Aaron Rodgers at quarterback and you already got, you know what Pickens is, a diva type. DK, we already know what DK is. Seems like Tomlin said, I'm going to cut out the cancer, so to speak, in the locker room and cut bait here.
Well, when is Aaron Rodgers' bitch ass going to sign?
Yeah, it's May now, Matt. I don't know what we're waiting on. I asked you this in January, and so now it's May, and we're still asking the same question. So
I'm sick of that guy's face.
I don't know. I think they got Will Howard too. That was a good draft pick. I thought I was pretty happy seeing that.
Will's a good player.
Yeah. I don't know why Aaron Rodgers has signed. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to sign. I'm starting to get the feeling in my head that he's just going to retire and that the Steelers quarterback room is going to be a little light this season. I don't know. We'll see, Matt, but it's May.
It makes me wonder why they would pass on Shador the way they did.
Do you I'm glad Shador didn't go there. Like I personally, I know how you feel. Like you think it would be a great fit. I think it would be any of
the quarterbacks, bro. Like if you're picking before, so you don't have a quarterback and you don't pick one until the 6th round. That doesn't make sense. What do they know that we don't know?
Yeah, well, Tomlin knows something, Matt, because either Aaron Rodgers is signing, they're rolling with Mason Rudolph and have a false confidence.
Are you telling me all they have on their roster is Mason fucking Rudolph? They don't have any other quarterbacks?
Will Howard and Mason Rudolph, yeah.
Those are the only 2 quarterbacks?
Yes.
So they don't have some like practice squad guy that's a stud or
Nope.
There's no like Tony Romo waiting in the wings that's been drafted or
no.
That's it.
That's it right now. And that's literally their quarterback room, Matt. I'm not lying to you. They got 2 guys right now. And they must know something that we don't.
Stupid. Why would you trade for DJ Metcalf if you don't have a quarterback?
Aaron must be signing okay? I don't know what else.
Is Mike Tomlin is he just fucking checked out? Is he in the later years of his job and fuck it, they're not going to fire me anyway, so I might as well just do this.
I trust Mike Tomlin, man. He's got a plan. I'm not gonna knock it. I just what I'm gonna keep saying. They know something we don't, Matt. They must know.
Yeah,
Aaron's signing there. I don't know
Rudolph's
why that's taking so long.
Comeback player of the year.
Watch it come out tomorrow that Aaron Rodgers is signing with Pittsburgh. They just
look, if Aaron Rodgers signs with Pittsburgh and he goes there and dices people up, I'll shut the fuck up.
Well, they're gonna be legit if he goes there. They're gonna be pretty damn good. Oh
I don't
man,
know, bro. I think Aaron Rodgers is a bum.
What do you think of the New York Giants, Matt? I talked about this with the Dallas Cowboys analyst Calvin Watkins. I asked him if the NFC East has the potential to be the best division in football, with the Cowboys, trying to rebound after a struggled season last season. We know how good the Washington Commanders are. The Eagles coming off a Super Bowl victory, and the Giants having to win 8 games. How do you feel about Russell Wilson and the Giants, and does the NFC East have a chance to be the best division in football next season?
The NFC East is going to be the best division in football.
I said it has the potential to be. Do you think it can?
I think you get one playoff team out of the East next year, the Eagles. I think the other three teams will be. I think Washington will underachieve, and Dallas and New York are not. I don't think they're playoff teams at all. No way. Until New York can figure out how to play on the offensive line again, they're never going to win any games. Ever. Their offensive line is so bad, and they've got 2 guys playing quarterback that take sacks and hold the ball like nobody's business. Winston is like Jameis is like a totally different version of Russell Wilson, yet he is the same guy. Does that make sense? They're like twins, but they're not.
You are so.
They both suck, but they're both kind of good. They're both kind of they're both uber religious, but they're both kind of full of shit at the same time. One's funny, haha. One's funny, hee hee. I saw Russell Wilson's fake ass went to the Met Gallery with Future's wife or Future's ex-wife or Sierra.
You are just unbelievable. You hate Russell Wilson. God damn.
They'd have a better fucking chance playing with Jackson Dart just starting right off the bat than letting one of those 2 idiots.
Are you okay? You're out of your mind with that last point. No way.
Okay. But the Giants suck, bro. Other than Malik Neighbors, they are fucking poo-poo.
Okay, so with that said, do they win 8 games, or is
Daboll in the way?
Okay, so Daboll, in essence, Daboll and the GM are probably gone.
Fired.
Wow. Man.
And Schottenheimer's probably going to be one and done in Dallas, and they'll try and figure out some big name coach down there because it's not going to work. And they'll be talking about running Dak out of town because they're going to underachieve too because they can't stop the run and their offensive line is leaky. The Commanders, I just think the Commanders will take a step backwards because everybody knows they're going to prepare for them now, and it's a sophomore slump. And Jaden Daniels might be incredible, but the rest of the team, we'll see if they can uphold the standard. You never know. A step backwards for them might be 9-8, but they were 12-5 last year, so that's going to be hard to live up to again. Do I think the NFC East is the best division in football? No, I don't. Not even close. That's just me, though.
In some breaking news, I don't know if this is really huge news here, but it's technically Big 12 news here. Former Utah quarterback Cam Rising is medically retiring from football instead of choosing to play another year. So just thought I'd add that
He's fucking 35 years old. It's about time.
Yes, and Utah will, I'm going to guess here, they're going to start their transfer quarterback they got from New Mexico, Devin Dampier here, who I actually think is he's a great kid. He was on JB's show about a few months back, but I think he's a great player too.
So how old is Cam Rising? 29? 30?
He's not, okay. Let's see, because there's no way he's out. He's 25. He's 25.
Okay, never mind.
29. Oh my God. I didn't think college football was that bad. Holy shit. 29-year-old college football player. Who is he? Brandon Whedon?
Who's Brandon Whedon played fucking baseball?
Yeah, that's a good point, man. That is a great point. Well, let's go ahead and pay the bills here. When we come back, Matt, we're going to discuss the NFL. Their social media people with a genius move here, sending Xavier Legget over to the Kentucky Derby to do social media work. Matt, I can't wait to get your reaction to that. We're also going to discuss Shedeur Sanders' quarterback trainer here, Boogie Knight, going on an interview and talking about Shedeur Sanders' pre-draft meeting with the Giants. I'm curious Matt's take on that. Rapper Rick Ross has a new lawnmower that I want to show Matt and ask Matt.
Does it go? Huh?
I don't know if it has that sound effect, but it's got some giant rims, some bright blue paint, and more that I'm going to show Matt here. If you're watching, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family. We'll be back in 2 minutes with so much more here on 0 to 60 Bucks. We appreciate you watching. See you in 2 minutes. Peace.
Whether it's offensive linemen as they work combos and double teams and also pass, pro, and punch, I think the unique physicality of this is outstanding. So much so that you can use it for your shield on punt team or as you rush in the shield. There's so many different ways that we're using it. We get better a little bit every single day, and I just wanted to say thank you because I hadn't ever thought of this, and when I saw it, it made total sense, and we're doing a great job with it. So thank you, man. Go Big Red. What this has done for us is it's allowed us to, because of the surface area, because of its firm nature, I can still strike against another player and have to use that punch just like you do on a sled. At the same time, have to time my punch because it could move. I can teach defensive linemen how to handle double teams because they can feel pressure. We can simulate contact in a safe environment in non-contact times because of this unique bag.
Welcome down here to the Lab 60 Football Academy, 60 Strength and Fitness. I am your owner and operator, Matt McChesney. I just wanted to let everybody know that 60 is now on Cameo. You can go on Cameo and request any tips for training, any offensive line, defensive line tips, recruiting tips. I get so many inquiries in my inbox on a daily basis about tips and can you look at my film and can you do this? Can you break down something for me? I'd love to. All right? It's like the Joker said, my man, right here. If you're good at something, never do it for free. So Cameo is now your bridge to 60 Football Academy. Go in, request what you want, tips, suggestions, recruiting, film, and we will make sure that you get the absolute best from the best. So check out 60 on Cameo at 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy.
And we're back here, man, on this beautiful Wednesday. I got to address something in the chat here. This guy says, Cap, Brady is fully aware of why he felt. Maybe it's as simple as collusion and he's protecting other owners. Miss me with that shit. Shedeur did not fall to the 5th round because of collusion. He did not fall to the 5th round because of NFL ownership being afraid of Deion Sanders or the head coach being afraid Deion Sanders is going to take his job. It's as simple as the NFL evaluation. Teams didn't want him. There's not a lot of teams that even needed a quarterback if we're being real looking at the draft, but it is not collusion. We got to stop with that narrative, stop with that victimhood mentality because that's bullshit. Matt, what is your response to that?
I wouldn't be surprised if guys didn't want to bring him in because they didn't want to deal with his dad and they thought they were going to lose their job. I wouldn't put that above anybody.
I don't know, man. It plays into
that above the spiteful ass people in the NFL at all.
They could have not wanted the noise. Yes, absolutely. I think especially the media attraction, the noise, etc. I think that could have played a part in it. But collusion, come on.
What is the definition of collusion? If there's two franchises that say, hey, franchise X, I don't really want to put up with his dad, and I might lose my job. And then the dad's going to have the job. And the other franchise goes, I agree. Is that all collusion is?
I mean, I wouldn't really call that collusion. I would say they don't want to deal with the noise of the media, so to speak. But the whole reason why I said that is because of and we've talked about this, Matt, the idea that, when Shador fell out of the first round, he came out and said this shouldn't have happened. No, I don't agree with that, because that's, again, that victim mentality. No, it's not. NFL evaluation made a decision, and how do you respond to it, Shador? That's really that. It's not some outside force, collusion, blah, blah, blah. I'm not buying into that shit at all, personally. But stick you on this train here, Matt. Shador, one of Shador's trainers here, Boogie Knight, who's been posting and been working out with Shador in his pre-draft, and since he's been in Cleveland here, came out on a podcast here on an interview and talked about Shador's pre-draft meeting with the Giants here and gave his perspective on it. Matt, take a listen.
Like, I even seen Coach Thomas said earlier, like, how great his interview was with him when he visited, and how it was totally different from some of the reports that we're getting from other places. Now, I'll explain this. Let's go back to the question you asked a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
With some of those interviews, I would say it wasn't the lack of professionalism or being unprepared. He's never been unprepared. I think it was more so of a young kid getting comfortable and building a relationship with someone and probably trusting them a little too much, and going into a room with his guard down, not understand, like, man, this is a job interview still, and they trying to pick you apart. Because you got to think the Giants and those teams, man, they've been in Boulder more than anybody. They've been there so much that almost to the point where he feel like, man, oh, we good. They have certain conversations off camera.
That's
like,
a good point.
Man, it's
right.
So now when I go in that room, it's, oh, these my people.
Yeah.
We good.
I never thought about it that. I never like if I.
Matt, based on what you've heard from your friends and front offices across the NFL here, what you've heard behind the scenes about Shador Sanders' pre-draft interviews here, this has been quite a topic here across sports media. What is your take on that? What is your reaction to hearing that from one of Shador's trainers here, Boogie Knight?
My question to the coach would be, it's your job to make, as a coach, your experience is what keeps you in the room. Mm-hmm. Your ability to say, I understand you have a great relationship with them and everything seems like it's hunky-dory and we're dapping it up and everybody's hugging and shit and kissing and everyone loves everybody. But Brian Daboll is from the Bill Parcells tree of coaching, and they're all about mental warfare.
Yes, they are.
And they're going to try and confuse you with playbooks, which they did. Right? Isn't that not what happened? They sent him a fucked up playbook and Shador didn't even look at it, apparently. Mm-hmm. Or they're going to put $100 bill in the back of the fucking book. Or they're whatever. They're going to, back in the day, they used to send tape and like cut half the tape out and then say, call coach right now. See how long it would take you to call the coach, and if people wouldn't even do it and shit because they didn't actually watch tape. And like this, it's your job as the coach to prepare the young athlete. I love how he's a young guy now. The young guy for what's happening for real. Mm-hmm. They're trying to find any and everything to use against you. They already know what he does well.
Yeah.
Are you a hanger-on or are you a coach? Mm-hmm. You want to squash all this? Go put him in the room as a coach and get behind the film and hand him the whiteboard marker or put him on film and say, go. And every question I ask, have him answer and write up the concept and talk about the definition of the term and everything else that goes with it.
Yeah.
Stop talking about, oh, well, he felt so comfortable and that's why he had a bad interview. Well, it's your job to make sure that he's comfortable being uncomfortable, coach.
Prepared, yep.
You're supposed to prepare him for this, not sit there and watch him dap up Daboll and go, why are they being so nice to him? That should be the question.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to be my friend? We're not friends. This is business.
That part you said there.
They're looking for any and all chinks in the armor here, bro. They're going to try and highlight anything that they think is wrong. They're going to play nice to see how you react. They're going to play me to see how you react. I guarantee you that the process of an interview went like this. Hey, we've been really cool with Shedeur up to this point, and everybody thinks we're friendly and nice. Let's drop the hammer on him, and let's change the playbook on him and see if he's really, really where we want him to be. Because personality-wise, we all get along, and everything's great there. So where are the red flags? And they're trying to find them.
Yes.
And they went on a witch hunt to find red flags, and they found them.
Yeah, absolutely.
In their eyes, not in mine, in their eyes. So I'm just saying, my question goes full circle back to the coach. How, as his representation, as a guy who is speaking for Shedeur in this interview, how is it acceptable that you did not have him ready to do that, and him being a first-round draft pick prospect and be the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm winner and a guy who's making millions of dollars and he's in every commercial? And how is it that he was not prepared for that moment with Brian Daboll and the New York Giants? How is that acceptable as the coach in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if you're telling me he's an impressionable kid, which is what he said. Did he not say that? Because I didn't say that. You didn't say that. He said, well, this young guy, this young kid. Oh, yeah. He's a young kid now? I thought he was a super mature leader of men. So I'm sorry, but you got coach. I'm not looking at this like it's on Shedeur or the Giants. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, dog, and I want to know if you can even do what you think what you say he needs to do in the NFL. Let's get you on the board. Let's get you in the meeting room and see if your knowledge is where it needs to be.
Definitely,
Matt. Come on, dog. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, and something you said that I think is very, very telling and true here. Mental warfare, Matt. Like you mentioned, Daboll is a disciple of Bill Parcells and his coaching tree, so to speak, Matt. In college recruiting, specifically and in the NFL here, when you're getting recruited by a college coach, they're going to be like this with you. They're going to be buddy.
Yeah, USC was just sitting in my office 15 minutes ago talking about, or an hour ago in 15 minutes, whatever. Talking to me about Deacon and Breck and Reese and Nick and Moon and who we're offering and who we're not. And here's a bunch of resumes and what do we have to do to get this guy and what do we have to do to get that guy? What are his attributes? What are his faults? Mm-hmm. Is he really into it? How smart? Brett Coolidge is the smartest offensive lineman I've ever been around. I've never seen anybody look at the game like him. He's a 15-year pro. If he stays healthy, he sees things differently, blah, blah, blah. That I believe that. Because I know exactly what he's being taught because I taught him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like is this kid, is this like one of his coaches? Is this his represent? People in the chat are telling me this is just some agent. If this is just some agent, then okay, then he doesn't need to coach shit. Is he a coach or an agent?
From what this is the cat who, from what I've seen here, has been putting out all Shedeur's workouts. I don't know if he's representation for sure. Either way, he's speaking on behalf of Shedeur Sanders. So I don't give a shit if he's a coach, an agent, whatever. He's speaking on behalf of them.
Is he a coach or an agent, though? It's two different things.
I'll give you confirmation here, Matt. But going back to what you said here about college recruiting, college coaches, when you're getting recruited in that recruiting process, they're going to be like this. They're going to be buddy to you, like you said. When you get to there, though, when you get to that level and you start getting coached by them, that relationship is going to look a lot different than it was in the recruiting process. And going back to something you said, when I actually went to college football, went to Eastern, Jace Budarak, the O-line coach there at the time, handed me my playbook. Right, it was this thick. Right in the middle of the playbook, there's a page that you had to go and see because they're fucking with you, trying to play that mental warfare shit, making sure you're taking care of your P's and Q's, Matt, to your point there. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't think it's his coach, bro. Like you set it up like that was his quarterback coach, and it's not his quarterback coach. Well, everything I just said about this cat, I guess totally disregarded. I thought it was his quarterback coach. It's apparently not.
You don't change what you say, even if it's his representation, Matt.
Well, yeah, but his representation isn't responsible for teaching him the ins and outs of what is going to be expected. His representation is there to represent him. His coach is there to coach him. So I feel like now I'm criticizing the wrong person because whatever. It doesn't matter.
No, but I think your overall point is true here, Matt. Going back to coaching and having him prepared for that meeting.
Well, yeah, but this guy isn't his coach. He's part of the media team apparently, or some shit.
No, I hear you, Matt. And what he's saying, though, Matt, going back and looking at it here, yes, it seems as though Shedeur wasn't prepared. Either way, all of that goes out the window now, Matt. How does Shedeur? Yeah,
but hold on. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter. Just move on. It's all good.
Okay. Well, Matt, let's move forward here. I want to kind of show you this here, Matt. The NFL social media people made a genius move, in my opinion, here by sending Carolina Panthers wide receiver Xavier Legget, well-known country boy, over to the Kentucky Derby. Matt, I don't know how much you're into horse racing here, Matt, but here's Xavier Legget with Guy Fieri, actually, at the Kentucky Derby, talking about how he eats raccoon, and I can't wait to hear if Matt McChesney would ever eat raccoon. Take a listen to this, Matt.
I come quiz for y'all today. All right. Well, I know you're a chef, my man.
Right.
How you feel about cooking some raccoon?
You know what? We were just having a raccoon cooking conversation the other day. And a buddy of mine swears he is like the raccoon chef.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, really, he was giving me a whole rundown on it. So, no, I would be down with it. My motto is, we're both hunters, and our motto is if you're going to hunt it, you got to eat it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, I think, are you a raccoon chef?
Yes, sir.
Give me the breakdown on it. What's the marinade? I want to hear this.
Oh, yeah, so man, we got a little secret now. I can't give it to everybody.
You can't give me the secret?
I can't give you the secret.
As chefs, we share as chefs.
Hey, I can't give you the secret now because it's some down in the bottom South Carolina type of cooking, you know what I'm saying? But I can tell you how we do it, though. We put it in the pressure cooker, let the meat fall off the bone, put it in the oven until we're going to chop it up first now.
All right.
I'll tell you, we put some little crushed peppers on it and all that now.
Okay.
Let that marinate in there. And that's how we
it's good eating.
Oh, yeah, it's good eating now.
That, I don't know. You strike me as somebody who's definitely more country than the average human being, but would you eat raccoon? Is that something you've ever ate before? What are your thoughts on this?
No, I've never eaten raccoon before. I stay away from the trash pandas. I guess if I had to eat a fucking raccoon, like if it was an apocalypse show and I had to eat a fucking raccoon, I would eat a raccoon. But nah, man, you can miss me with the raccoons and shit. I'll just eat some chicken or like a steak. I don't need to go eat a trash panda that was just eating a diaper. Ugh. Yeah. So yeah, that's disgusting. I'm sorry, but it's not.
Oh, I agree with you.
I guess if I'm the fucking weirdo because I don't want to eat the trash panda, then I guess I'm the fucking weirdo here, and I'm cool with that.
Fucking weird. I ain't eat it either. This is an Xavier Legget thing, man. This isn't
trash panda. So yeah,
yeah. I don't want to eat nothing that eats straight trash. No way. And I asked Coach Fred the same thing. Chat.
Now I eat pig all the time, and they eat their own shit. So yeah.
Unbelievable. Chat, let us know if you would eat raccoon here. I gotta hear from chat yourself here. Fucking unbelievable. But nonetheless, I thought it was a genius move by NFL's social media and front office, or not front office, but social media team, so to speak, by sending Xavier Legget over to the Kentucky Derby, because I'm not a horse racing guy by any means, but I thought, hearing some of his interviews, seeing him over at the Kentucky Derby was definitely entertaining, to say the least here. I'm all about personalities in football here, so I love it. Chat, would you eat raccoon? I definitely wouldn't here. I don't think Matt would either, even though Matt's a little bit more country than the rest of us. But, man, going back to what we were talking about, Boogie Knight. So Boogie Knight, from what my understanding here, he's done all of Shedeur's social media since he's been in Cleveland, like around the draft here. So I don't think he's been with Shedeur long. Nonetheless, he's still speaking on behalf of Shedeur. He's the guy that's put out every workout, every little tidbit you've seen of Shedeur working in Cleveland since he's been here. So he's still speaking on the situation. Matt,
but what I'm saying is everything I based my opinion off of was thinking he was the coach. But he's not the coach. But
I don't think your opinion's necessarily different or wrong if he wasn't the coach. I get you're directing him at him. but would you direct that same opinion at somebody else?
If you said he's just some social media guy that does posting and he's got an opinion on why you think he fell or whatever he said, it probably would change pretty significantly. I thought he was the guy in the meeting room.
Well, he's somebody that's close to Shedeur is my main point with it. But yeah.
Well, yeah, but again, being the coach and being close to Shedeur are two totally different things.
No, I agree with you, man, 100%. That's why I asked you if, because I get he's not his coach, but he's still speaking on behalf of him. Your opinion on what you actually said about it, would you? If I know you're directing it at him, but
I was directing it at him, being that he was the coach.
Okay.
So yeah, my opinion would, if I watched it again now as he's just some guy holding the fucking camera and posting shit, because that's what he's doing, then yeah, my opinion would probably be way different if I watched it now. So play it again and I'll give you my opinion of him as a social media member. Like, it has nothing to do with teaching Shedeur how to be a pro, nothing to do with him. How would he know anything about Brian Daboll and his coaching tree? How would he know anything about the manipulation games that Parcells has played through 50 years in the NFL? How it's trickled down to all the coaches? How would this fucking guy know any of that? So, it's just, he's not his coach. So my opinion based off of that is totally null and void because it's wrong. So
that's fair. Now, but my question to you, Matt, if you were talking to Shedeur's coach or somebody that's really, really close to him and is actually, playing a physical role of coaching him, and based on what you've heard in totality about his front office meetings, his pre-draft meetings with the Giants and other teams here, what is your message to that coach?
I'm not going to try and save the argument just because it makes us look like idiots right now. I'm saying I don't have an opinion. They're not the ones giving their opinion. So whoever, look, if Colbert Jr. is his quarterback coach, the same guy that worked with Cam Ward, if he was the one on the interview and he gave his opinion, I would react to that. But I'm not going to speculate on what he might say and then how I would criticize it. I'm saying this guy isn't his coach. It was presented to me as it was his coach talking about it. And my reaction was blind because of it, because you really tell me what we're going to talk about, which is the way I want it. So,
that's all me.
I'm just saying, if it's not his coach, which it's not, it doesn't really matter what I say about it anymore because it's all null and void.
No, that's fair. And my understanding of his role was, wrong, so to speak, because, I didn't think he was physically training the kid, but I knew he was in his ear. I knew he was doing all of his social media clips. I knew he was cool.
Yeah, but in his ear and doing social media clips doesn't mean he knows how to coach him in a meeting room.
No, I know.
And what he has to do with the Giants meeting with him and everything that it's his opinion. Well, I saw them hanging out and they were all fun and games. Well, yeah, you saw it because you're running the camera. But that guy doesn't have, the guy running the camera usually doesn't have any fucking say or coach anybody. He's the guy running the camera. So
100%.
It's bad information. That's all. It's all good. Just move on.
Yeah, and I wanted to hear your perspective on it for sure, but I hear your tone, and that's all me not clarifying.
It's just some media guy. Like, I don't give a fuck what he thinks. If it was his coach and his coach said that would be my response. But his coach didn't say that, so I don't know what my response would be.
No, 100%. Yeah, and that's on me for not clarifying it here. He's not his squad, because I knew he wasn't Daryl, a select QB.
It's all good, dog. Just let it go. Move on.
Well, let's move on here, Matt. Final topic before we get out of here on this fine Wednesday. We already teased this briefly in the beginning of the show. Rick Ross got a new custom lawnmower with giant, I think those are 24s on it. He's got a speaker system, etc. Matt, is this something you would invest in for your own house?
Fuck yeah, man. We got to cut like 90 acres at the ranch, dog. We've got like 6 of these things. So I don't know if I would put rims on it and shit, but
speakers and shit.
I mean, this is a pretty juiced up fucking lawnmower right there. You tell a lot about a man about how he keeps his lawn. So I got respect for Rick Ross on this one right here. This is nice.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I don't know if I'd ever invest in something like that, but I'm a fan of it. I think it looks great.
Well, look, if you're investing in a lawnmower like this, you've got a lot of lawn to mow, and you can do it. So it's all good.
A lot of money to burn as well. Shout out to Rick Ross. Rick Ross's new lawnmower there, Matt. Man, Matt, great showing here on this fine Wednesday. We'll be back on Friday to talk all things Colorado Buffaloes football here and Buffaloes news here as we get closer to the season here. Kind of a slower time here in the offseason. God damn, I can't wait for college football here, Matt, and NFL. Can't wait here. Done dealing with basketball, and I ain't watching hockey. I don't know if you are, but you get my point.
No, the Avs lost the other night. I'm done watching hockey, but the basketball's kicking ass right now. I don't know what you're talking about. Fuck. Anybody that's hating on it right now isn't watching.
Oh, I'm not hating on that. I don't. You get my point right there. You know me. I'm a football guy, and goddamn, we're almost to August, so we're gonna be there soon. But yeah, chat. If you're watching, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, become a member of the Dungeon family today. We can't thank you enough for tuning in here on this fine, beautiful Wednesday. I'll be live tomorrow with Baltimore Ravens staff writer Clifton Brown to talk all things Baltimore Ravens football and more here. Matt, any closing thoughts before we get out of here on this fine Wednesday?
No, man. Just and everybody enjoy your day and see you Friday.
See you guys Friday. Enjoy the Wednesday. Peace.